Mr. Collins for his opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate this. Welcome to everybody here who was expecting one thing and getting another. Last week, I was driving to a great event. It is the opening of football season at the University of Georgia. We're going between the hedges. The day was starting as our first home game. My wife and I are driving down the road, and she's looking at her phone. She's bored. She's looking at it as it goes forward, and she's in her Instagram account. And she looks over at me, and she shows me this picture of a person. It's a family member. It's a close family member. She looks over, and she says, and a friend who was staying with us, she said, "Megan told me about filters that you can use to make your appearance look better." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, look at this picture. This looks nothing like our family member. What did she do?" And I said, "Well, Lisa, I don't know." I said, "Undoubtedly, she used one of the filters." What's happened today is great. The Judiciary Committee has become a giant Instagram filter to make you appear that something's happening that's not. It's a really interesting, and I hope he'll come back at this. The difference between formal impeachment proceedings and what we're doing today is a world apart, no matter what the chairman just said. And what we're looking at here is a filter to make you believe something. It's great, though, because I love this. I've not seen this much press up at 8 o'clock in the morning in a long time. When we look at this, though, let's look at the facts. Nothing we have here is anything that could not have been handled 5 minutes before a hearing of any time that we have. The filter may make you think something's happening, but really what we have is a walk down the yellow brick road. In fact, you want to see the yellow brick road? Let's go to the whereas clauses. The Emerald City is impeachment, and my colleagues are desperate to get there. They have been desperate since last November when they won the majority, and they started this path. They walked. Look at the whereas clauses on what they're doing and how they're doing it. In fact, what's really interesting, though, is very disturbing to me is the whereas clause in the second paragraph when it admits that the Russian government interfered in the 2016 election, yet we've had no hearings and no bills brought forward in this committee that deals with that issue. Undoubtedly, we acknowledge it, like we've done a lot of things in this committee, but we don't want to solve it because we'd rather talk about it. So we continue the whereas clauses. We continue the whereas this, the yellow brick road. What's interesting is all along they thought people were coming along with them and that the public was happy with this and that other members in their own party were happy with this. But somewhere down the yellow brick road, they looked around and said, there's not all of us here. People aren't following anymore. And then we come to today, the resolve part, which is actually the real part of this resolution, which again, for all of the folks covering this is not anything special. In fact, let's talk about it. Number one, the chairman may designate a full committee or subcommittee hearing for the purpose of presentation of information to this committee. Oh my goodness, you can do that anytime you wake up. The chairman could wake up this morning and say, this is what we're doing today. Why do we need a resolve clause for that? I didn't know we needed to define the chairman's authority into saying what we're going to do today. He's made it very clear for all year this is what he wants to do. The second one, if a witness is called to testify, the committee staff, here we are again, because we know it looks more impeachment-like if we have staff answering questions. I don't know what it's like on the other side of the aisle here, but staff meetings must be heck around here, because I've never seen a majority bunch of members who desperately want to give away their authority to staff to do something. I've never seen this with the brand of lawyers that you have on your side of the aisle. I am amazed that you just don't ask for more member questioning and let some of these brilliant lawyers go at it because they're good. But yet, undoubtedly, like I said, I'm not sure what's happening on that side, but this desperation to get staff to be in the spotlight to ask questions is just something that is, again, Instagram filter. Let's put it in there to look like something that it's really not. And for some lawyers, and I'm looking at one right here, Mr. Raskin, is amazing. I don't understand this one, but hey, again though, let me think. This could have been done at any hearing. At any hearing we do, the chairman just has to bring it up as a motion. It's in the rules. We don't have to be doing this as a resolution, but it looked really good over the weekend when we said we're going to start inquiries into impeachment and we're going to put regulations in place to do that. And then it went off the track completely through the week because even their own leadership didn't know what they were doing. Then number three, now this one's a problem. It talks about executive session and how they're going to handle information, because here's a problem. They already promised in court filings that they had these procedures in place. In fact, I wrote a letter to the chairman saying, no, you really don't here, and the copy of the letter I have here, you don't have these in place. And so it's really interesting. Maybe this is a time, maybe they thought the judges would miss it. Well, right now the TV camera's on. Judges, you might want to look at this. They didn't have the procedures in place. You may have a filing saying you did, but you don't. And also, let me also say for anybody listening here, this can't be kept strictly in. This rules cannot contradict House rules. Any member of the House can see this material. Any member of the House can. The last one, this one is the most amazing. I mean, we've been building up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am so happy that this resolution says that the President Counsel may respond in writing to information and testimony presented in the committee in open session after the fact. Everybody in this room, everybody in this country, everybody outside this country can do this. Anybody who has an email address, anybody who has a pen and paper can write a letter to this committee. We're now letting the president, we're telling him that he can do this? As if this president has a hard time expressing himself? I think he understands this in his counsel. And then the chairman, after consultation with me, can invite the president to review. This is, again, this shows you how, frankly, unfortunately silly we've gotten today. To actually put in number 4 resolution to say that the president and his counsel can write a letter to this committee. Have we gotten to that point yet? Really? So, look, the Instagram filter is applied. Make sure it looks good. Spruce up the parts. Make your story look good. The press is here. We've been, I've wanted a long time to be able to say this. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Because we're here. It may all look good. The unfortunate part is when the screen goes down, you just see a simple procedure issue. A simple procedure issue that doesn't do with impeachment. It doesn't do with anything else. It just simply gives another press release for whatever we're doing now. So it's early. It's 8 o'clock. The popcorn's on. And as I've said, let the show begin.